Hi, and welcome to More Human, More Resources, the HR podcast for entrepreneurs. I'm Vicki Brown, your host and CEO of Idomeneo Enterprises. As a serial entrepreneur, I understand that having the right expert help has been critical to my success. That's why I'm dedicated to telling you, in plain language, what's going on in the world of HR that might impact your business and what you need to do about it, with real actionable tips to help you master that list of must-dos and grow your leadership muscle. First things first, the information contained in this podcast is provided for general purposes only and is not to be considered legal advice. Your decision to adopt or not adopt any practice or procedure mentioned in this podcast is solely yours, and we bear no responsibility for the outcome. We urge you to always consult legal counsel and other appropriate licensed professionals. And with that, let's get into the show. You're listening to Season 4, Episode 1, Sick Leave. I'm finding that it's a top-of-mind issue for most business leaders I talk to. Now, I know that's because basically, sick time has expanded over the years, and state by state, there seems to be a movement of rolling out additional programs like paid family leave and expanded sick leave. In fact, in California, it's one of the states expanding sick leave requirements, effective January 1st. If you want a rundown of the details, check out the latest episode on our YouTube channel. It's called Unraveling California 2024 Sick Leave, and I'll leave a link in the show notes. Of course, you and I both know that these programs can be really helpful when your team member needs to take care of their own or a family member's illness. After all we've been through recently, you certainly don't want someone coming into the workspace when they're ill. That's not good for anyone concerned. But I do sometimes hear an underlying frustration from managers and business leaders. People are using sick time as additional vacation time, or I can't go a whole week without someone calling in, or there's no way I can manage like this. And sure, managing through the myriad of leave programs can take some leadership finesse, shall we say, but it's absolutely possible. You just have to be rigorous about things like tracking the time taken, maintaining open communication with your team members, and not letting your emotions in the moment get the best of you. And speaking of letting your emotions get the best of you, the things I've heard come from managers. I know it's just because they're frustrated and feeling helpless in the situation, but I cannot stress enough to you that at all times you have to have one eye turned toward your responsibility around compliance. And you have to treat each situation in accord with the applicable law. And while that may not make sense to you, and I get it, the last thing you want to do is take a step only to find you've stepped into a pile of legal poo-poo. So, in that spirit, here are some scenarios I've experienced that are, well, shall we say, problematic. The manager wants to fire the employee because they've been out for a week. Well, first up, most, if not all, sick leave programs provide at least a week of sick leave. And even if they didn't, firing someone because they've been out sick for a week, well, that's just not a very good look. Besides, maybe they have used up all their sick leave. There are usually actual leave programs available as well. Things like paid family leave or disability. The issue here is there are quite a few steps that need to come before you let someone go. You need to review with the employee how much time their doctor thinks they need. Talk about leave program options and even the possibility of using other time available, like vacation time or personal days. This really needs to be an interactive discussion. But for the sake of argument, let's say you've had some of those discussions in the past. The fact is, this is a new situation, so you really should have them again. All right, let's say all those avenues have been exhausted. The next step is to discuss with the employee that their job may be in jeopardy because, and again, I can't stress this enough, there is no other mechanism available to provide them additional time off. Not that they've been out for a week. Okay, I hear you saying, why does it have to take so many steps? Why can't I just cut to the chase? This is just a waste of time. Well, The first thing to remember is that you, of course, don't want to penalize someone because they're sick, and you certainly don't want to wipe out their livelihood when there may have been other options. And second, if you're seeing a lot of call-outs, it's not a bad idea to take a look at that group or team. Sometimes this can be a sort of canary in the coal mine situation. It may point to other issues that are contributing to the team members feeling disconnected. Trust me, this isn't just good advice from an employment law standpoint. It's good advice from a good culture viewpoint as well, because the best antidote to rampant call-outs is to build an engaged, committed team that's dedicated to excellence. In fact, that's the answer to a lot of employment relations challenges. I know it's not the end-all or be-all answer, and I know it's easier said than done. But if you keep your eye on developing great culture and creating a space where the team is learning and doing their best work, well, it puts your focus as a leader squarely where it should be. If you found this information helpful, please leave a review and tell a friend. Thanks for spending the time. Until next week, same time, same place.